Get what you really want with the all-new Ford Everest Active 4x4. Value-packed with 12-inch touchscreen, black exterior styling and 18-inch alloys. All from just $60K drive away. Get the Everest Active at participating Ford dealers.
Wheelchair basketball emerged shortly after World War II after it was developed by injured servicemen. It became a foundation Paralympic sport at the 1960 Games and is now one of the world's most recognisable wheelchair sports. Athletes who play wheelchair basketball have a physical impairment. All players use a wheelchair to compete, although some don't use a wheelchair in everyday life. The court dimensions and basket height for wheelchair basketball are the same as the able-bodied version of the sport, as is the playing time and number of players on court. Wheelchair basketball classifications range between 1 and 4.5 points. Players with a classification of 1.0 have the highest level of impairment, while players in the 4.5 point class have the highest level of physical function to be eligible for the sport. The wheelchairs used during a game are specially designed to support players and help them move around the court. During a match, the classifications of the 5 players on the court are added together and must reach a total of no more than 14 points. The object of the game is to score the most points in the opposing team's basket. The team with the most points by the time the clock expires wins. Wheelchair basketball is a contact sport. The sport is so fast that it can be difficult for athletes to stop in time, meaning contact is inevitable and can result in some spectacular collisions. While contact is permitted and even encouraged, head-on collisions are strictly forbidden and can result in fouls or even ejection from the game. For more information on wheelchair basketball, visit paralympic.org.au.
Get what you really want with the all-new Ford Ranger Wolf Track V6, featuring bold styling, 17-inch alloys and all-terrain tyres, all from just $73K drive away. Ranger Wolf Track at participating Ford dealers while stocks last.
I'm Shelley Matheson and we're at the Victorian Institute of Sport training session, which happens after Play On. Play On is a women's and girls wheelchair basketball program for development. Myself and former teammate, Paralympian Leanne Daltoso, we realised that there was no place for women to get involved in wheelchair basketball. And wheelchair basketball has been such a passion and a lifelong thing of both of us that we just wanted to open up our community to more women, so we created the Play On program.
Program is it's a special one. We cater for women who just want to connect socially, be involved in basketball, learn new skills, make new friends, but also we cater for those ambitious girls and women who want to actually excel and get to the Paralympic level. So this is that grassroots level where they can come in, learn, have fun, play, and whatever their pathway is, they can start their journey here.
I love sport, I love being an athlete. But for me, it's always provided community and connection. And when you're a little disabled girl growing up in the country, you don't always have that. So when I first found wheelchair basketball, I found people like me, I found a community, and yeah, I fell in love with the sport and the people. And some of my best friends in the entire world I found on a basketball court.
I come here every week and I see the smiles on their face, their friends, they want to work hard, they want to show you what they're capable of. It's not just about them, it's actually about their family that sit on the sidelines and siblings that can jump in and be a part of it. I love that. It just, everyone has a place in sport and we want everyone to be a part of it.
I hope that women and girls come into the Play On program and just find the joy that is wheelchair basketball, whether they go on to compete for Australia, which I believe that there'll be girls on court in Brisbane in 2032 that have found wheelchair basketball through this Play On program. I hope that the girl who never wants to go further than this program just finds a space here and everything in between. I just hope people fall in love with wheelchair basketball like we all have.
Hey everyone, Tom O'Neill Thorne here. We have a massive season ahead. Follow here for your behind the scenes, game updates and everything in between. Welcome to a new era of wheelchair basketball in Australia. See you on court.
Get what you really want with the value-packed Ford Ranger Black Edition 4x4 with bedliner, 12-inch touchscreen, 17-inch alloys and all-terrain tyres. All from just 53k drive away. Get the Ranger Black Edition at participating Ford dealers.
Welcome to this very special occasion, a celebration of the 2000 Australian Paralympic team.
It's so great just for everyone to come together and reminisce, and it's like a massive reunion.
To be here with everyone's just so special. It makes me almost cry with joy.
So wonderful to be back here after 25 years. So many people that got to share such unforgettable memories because it was the first time we had the Paralympic Games in Australia.
We all have a bond that can't be broken because we all experience something that is a part of our lives.
All of what we're here for, we have to develop the athletes, the kids with disabilities, to believe that they can achieve.
Sydney 2000 showed that the Paralympic Games can be as good as a host city chooses to make them. It filled stadiums, it filled arenas. It set the benchmark for the athlete experience.
Sydney 2000 changed everything. Let's just take the Paralympic movement to a place where it had never been before.
People with disabilities can, and I think Sydney said to us, we can.
Australia changed the face of Paralympic sport forever, and I couldn't be prouder.
My favourite memory from the Sydney 2000 Paralympic Games was actually carrying the torch into the stadium for the opening ceremony of the Games. Before I was about to carry the torch, there was going to be 2.2 billion television viewers.
The advice to the athletes is seize all the opportunity you have. The athletes that assembled here today are an example of the hard work and the legacy that can be left by a group that's come well before you. The best way that you can honour, respect and thank the past is to make sure you take care of the future by working hard and embracing every opportunity that you have at the moment.
What's up everyone, Jalen Brown here. I'm currently over in Turkey for the 25-26 Turkish League. I'm excited to get back and kick off this new era of wheelchair basketball with you all. The 2026 season is going to be something special. Make sure you're following along here for updates while I'm overseas.
Get what you really want with the new look Ford Ranger Wild Track. With its power roller shutter, stunning matrix LEDs and premium B&O 10-speaker sound system. And you'll also get a 4K fuel card. That's 4K to take you on even bigger adventures. Available at your participating Ford dealer now.
Welcome to the AIS Netball and Basketball Centre in Canberra in the Australian Capital Territory. It's the second game of the Rollers against the World Series coming to you this morning, Canberra time. Early for these players, 10 o'clock at Spain against Italy. Two teams that qualified for the upcoming World Championships in Rotterdam, courtesy of the European Championships. For Spain, it was an unbeaten run through that tournament, beating Great Britain in the final. And Italy were beaten by Germany in the bronze medal game, but in the very strong European qualifiers, 4 teams get through. So the Italians, we can see their team on screen. a fantastic 5 days of basketball ahead, the Rollers versus the World Challenge. We've already seen Australia squeak a narrow win over Japan this morning. And I'm Brendan Parnell, and I'm joined by Campbell Fraser, a man much more familiar with some of the intricacies of the sport, having played it himself. Campbell, what can we expect today in this feeling out contest?
Yeah, I think this will be a really interesting game for both of these teams. Italy coming in with a couple of their junior players who did really well at the under-23s last year, and looking to this year as well, and really relying on kind of their growing momentum as a team. And Spain being one of those teams that for as long as I've been involved in the sport, Spain has been absolutely a strong team. They have players that I've seen play for longer than I've been around. Pablo Zazuela is a fantastic center for that team. One of two rather, Zazuela twins. Obviously, one of them not playing in this run. But it will be really interesting to see how the Italians shape up against Spain. Spain's always been pretty consistent. And I'd be really interested to see how the Italians come. The Spanish league has also just recently finished, so they will all be kind of right at the height of their practice. I don't know off the top of my head when the Italian league runs, so potentially they're in similar stead. But it will be very interesting to see how they come up against each other.
Yeah, and as mentioned, this tournament put on by the Australian Rollers at the Australian Institute of Sport in Canberra runs for 5 days, so it's a really hectic schedule for the teams. They will play a game this morning, a game this afternoon, change of rotation, another game Saturday morning, another game Saturday afternoon, and again on Sunday, with the semi-finals on Monday and the finals of the tournament, a bronze medal game and a team contest for the gold medal, the notional gold medal. I'm not sure there'll be any medals handed out, as these 4 teams are in part of a training block, and the opportunity to have these games against quality opposition that they will see in Rotterdam, or may see in Rotterdam. The pools have yet to be finalised for that championship, is an unbeatable one. As we see the teams going through their final preparation. Mentioned it's just coming up on 20 minutes past 10 in the morning, so early start, although earlier on, Campbell, it was a much earlier start for the Australian and Japanese teams, having tipped off just after 8 a.m. Australian time.
Yeah, and I can't say I envy them with the temperature that they must be fighting through at the moment. Hopefully it's warmed up by now, but that 8 a.m. game is going to be pretty rough. Obviously, they play quite fast, quite strong. They get a good workout in, and we saw that from the Rollers and from the Japanese squad that they played at heavy speed. So I can't imagine it was too long of an issue. But it's always a fun little thing, especially for international teams coming over and getting the shock that is Australian weather sometimes.
Yeah, for anybody tuning in from overseas, you'd probably think of the archetypal images of Australia: desert, beaches, sun and surf. It's the start of winter here, and Canberra is one of the notoriously colder places in the country. So I'm sure whilst the hall itself, the netball and basketball centre where they're playing, is shielded from the elements, it'll be very cold outside. Officials just getting things organised. Italy in their royal blue strip. The left of camera, they'll start Caracini, Boganelli Joseph, Marotta, Gione and Papi. For Spain, it's Onrubia, Lorenzo, Ortega, Prieto and Christian. Notably, their 3 leading scorers from that European tournament. Lorenzo, who led their scoring, 17 points a game. Ortega, 15. And Prieto with 10. All part of this starting lineup. So Spain in the white uniforms. Starting with virtually the lineup they took the floor for in the final of the European Championship.
It's a very traditional lineup that they're running for anyone who's been in the sport for a while. It's almost shifted towards a more midpoint lineup, but the Spanish team like to play their really big tall highs and then their low pointers, and play a very big split between the two and look for those probably points inside the paint.
And we're underway. Italy in the blue strip with the first possession. Caracini puts the ball inside, finds its way to Gione. He gets the scoring underway. Spain pushing the ball down the floor. On the Rubia running the point guard. Their shots off, but an offensive rebound. Lorenzo, shots off, another offensive rebound. Lorenzo looks middle, pass deflected. Prieto unable to wheel that one in. Italy comes away. Papi, held up. Looks middle. Finds Gione. His shot's off. Almost has hold of the rebound, but bobbles away. Plenty of players and chairs caught in the backcourt. Spain probes. Lorenzo showing his dexterity there, just while he was faking, spinning that ball on his finger.
And already that height for Spain being really important. Those offensive and defensive rebounds really not giving Italy an option to get those points back. And I think that'll be their way forward, is really play strong, play big, and really force that fight.
And his shot's off. First foul of the game. Papi is fouled. Chance to get a look at the Italian sideline out of bounds alignment. Bit of a line there. Ball with Caracini. Not sure if that was a shot or a pass. I will give it a pass. Gione's shot is off. Spain pushes again. Papi screened out there from his defensive duties. Another offensive rebound. Been an avalanche in these early stages. Spain tie things up. Italy pushing the other way. Caracini uses the Boganelli Joseph screen. That finds its way back across, and that shot's good.
That's a really nice little offensive play for Italy to look for the high, getting that mismatch opportunity, and just shoot straight over that and get a simple basket, get that momentum moving.
Boganelli Joseph, the rebound after hit a couple of hands. Caracini wheels around. Picked up by Prieto. Ball gets away. Lorenzo the rebound. Rubia. His bank shot's good.
That's a fantastic little outside shot. That's it's one of those things that if you know the sport pretty well, the mid to low pointers really like that 45-degree on the move shot. It almost becomes a textbook shot for them, and that's a beautiful option for the Spaniards to have in the back pocket, especially if they can't get anything inside.
That shot's off. Baseball pass. A leak out there from Prieto. but the pass was unable to find him. See the Spanish coaching staff huddled in the background. Head coach Abraham Carrion. Papi with the ball for Italy. Early stages, second match of a massive 5-day tournament here. Carasini, shot falls off. Pogonati Joseph tries to get in there for the offensive rebound, can't do so. Spain off and running. Lovely pass fake. Looked for all the world like that ball was going to Prieto. Pass kicked ahead and the officials have found an Italian hand in there. Dione screened out in the backcourt. And Rubia. Left alone again. Really neat little pass. Dione. Picked up by Ortega. Ball skips across. Papi. Dione, shot clock running down. Ball gets back to the middle. You can hear the bench counting it down. Basket's good. And the foul.
Up until drawing that foul, that was a beautiful little play from the Spanish in their defense, being really active, really on top of the ball, and really making sure that the Italians didn't have an option. Obviously, they've kicked it out and found at least a little bit of a mismatch, but really, I think that's going to be the strength of the Spanish side, is playing fast and playing tall. They have a lot of speed for just how tall they are, so it's a big strength towards them.
Carasini making that basket, and he will have the free throw when we come back from this timeout. Head coach Gerrit van der Linden. Some instruction there, a little bit of mechanical work as well on one of the Carasini's wheels.
So always in a timeout, there will be little fixes that are made, little adjustments. Often players will undo the straps that are across their body just to kind of let themselves breathe for a second. They're really tightly strapped in, a lot of them. So you'll see them kind of pull them back, and then as they're pulling away, they'll get set back in their chairs and be very comfortable.
Requisite amount of hand gesturing there. Discussion, but a pretty calm timeout from what we could observe. Carasini will have the chance to convert the three-point play. He can't do so. Ortega, cut off on the baseline. Finds Prieto, his shot is off. Buez on the floor. The Italians. Almost looked off balance there, Carasini. Ball gets to Pogonati Joseph. His shot's off. Lorenzo the rebound. Finds on Rubia. Continues down the middle and banks home the shot. Very calm.
Saeed almost pleading for a little bit of a charge there. There was pretty heavy contact coming through, but not quite enough, and not quite enough of a lift from the chair. But really getting into it already in this first quarter.
3-point attempt by Papi. He's good. It really came from nowhere. Spanish missed. The Italians, Carasini off and running again, rolling towards the hoop. Finds Pogonati Joseph. He does a great job. so low in his chair, but managing to lean in and create some contact.
That's one of the hard things to defend, actually, is Ortega being quite small player. Hard to kind of get down and control that ball. Not knowing necessarily where they're going to shoot from. You see a lot of different shooting styles in wheelchair basketball. So especially on layups, it can be a difficult thing to protect that ball against such a height mismatch.
Boganelli Joseph. A neat free throw start. Can't get the second one to go. Spanish lightning quick in transition. And Olivia wheels around, thinks better of it. It's left open. Draws the shot opportunity. He's thinking pass. Ortega. Happy on the wing. Uses the screen from Saad, but the screen was illegal.
I was almost wondering if that would come through as I was watching the way Saeed was looking for that seal and trying to get a little bit of contact through, just using that foot plate a little bit too aggressively. And, I was almost waiting for that call and it came through.
Bit of jamming action in the backcourt there. I'll be prevented from participating for a moment. He comes screaming back. Meanwhile, shots up. Karasini the rebound. Buez gets the screen. Papi comes middle, collects himself and uses the glass. Got the moonball pass there, which harmlessly sails out of bounds. But a foul's been detected. The Spanish player out of the chair there. Lorenzo, as he, I'm not sure if he had an opportunity to catch that pass or not, but he certainly was prevented from moving. The official.
The Spanish have looked for that long pass a few times there, and it hasn't really gone their way. I think it's kind of slowed down their offense, actually. But it's showing that they're getting that leak out pretty consistently. So if they're able to get those passes a little bit more pinpoint accurate, could be a dangerous thing for Italy.
Prieto finishes, rolls expertly to the hoop, pass right on the money. Karasini, we see Spanish player out of his chair in the backcourt. Shots off. Lorenzo the rebound. Spain off and running. Numerical advantage. Beautiful bounce pass behind the back. Oh! That would have been a fantastic sequence. It was a fantastic sequence, but just failure to finish. Karasini looks, skips across. That'll be a 3-second call. Wells was in the paint, thinking shot, thinking pass. Couldn't make up his mind.
That was really expert defense from the Spanish team, just putting their hand up, making him question whether he had an option to shoot there, and not even necessarily looking to steal the ball, but just putting a little bit of pressure, and then forcing that turnover.
And Rubio finds Lorenzo. Another semi-no-look pass there. Karasini. This is the screen from Gione. Kicks it. Boganelli Joseph. Don't be deceived by how low he sits in his chair. He's a beautiful shooter. On Rubia. Gilles on the floor, drives baseline to Spain. Ball skips back around on Rubia, takes the shot this time. It's off. Italy just trailing by 3 as we tick towards the end of the first quarter. Carasini finds a pass inside. Not sure if Spuers knew where the hoop was there, but he had his back to the basket, but made up something and was contacted.
That's one of those key things that we say in wheelchair basketball is that if you can stop someone from turning, stop someone from getting their position when they're trying to shoot, it's a very big thing. So it's hard to turn your body and shoot in that position, and sometimes you just have to throw it up and hope that you draw a foul like that.
But you certainly don't foul somebody who's shooting back over their head, do you, Campbell?
I would think not, but potentially it's a little bit of a rattling tactic, and we know that the Spanish they like to play hard, they like to play aggressive, and it does spoof teams occasionally, especially Spuers. He's a younger guy. He was part of the Italian juniors, so it'll be potentially just giving him a little bit of a show of what level he's playing at now.
Prieto's pass is deflected. Just the officials checking on the shot clock. Gilles launches that. It's off. Couple of ticks remaining. First quarter. Can Italy manufacture something? No, they can't. Ball stuck in the backcourt, but an enthralling contest already. Spain up by 2 points, and we'll be back shortly.
Get what you really want with the new look Ford Ranger Wild Track. With its power roller shutter, stunning matrix LEDs, and premium B&O 10-speaker sound system. And you'll also get a 4K fuel card. That's 4K to take you on even bigger adventures. Available at your participating Ford dealer now.
What's up everyone, Jalen Brown here. I'm currently over in Turkey for the 25-26 Turkish League. I'm excited to get back and kick off this new era of wheelchair basketball with you all. The 2026 season is going to be something special. Make sure you're following along here for updates while I'm overseas.
Welcome back to the AIS Netball and Basketball Centre in Canberra, Australia. It's the second game of a massive 5-day slate of games in what's been termed the Rollers Against the World, as you can see in the middle of the court there. Tournament. Spain and Italy, two of Europe's qualifiers for the IWBF World Championships to come up in September in Rotterdam. It's Spain with the ball in the white uniforms, leading by just the 2 points. Ball kicks across. And they've just come on the floor, but Ruiz, first touch, first shot is good. Italy with the ball in the blue. Giaretti. Cross baseline, looks at shot, thinks again. Benvenuto. He shots off. Ruiz probes down the right baseline, cut off, finds a pass in the middle, plenty of contact there. Hand in the air to indicate The foul. Zayed will go to the free throw line for Spain.
I really like the way that Spain's playing their offense here. They're always looking for that back pick, looking to pressure Italy into a little bit of a mismatch, and then using that striking speed to come straight down. And they're often finding someone just sitting in the paint, ready for that open pass.
Spain have hold of that offensive rebound. Somehow Italy went in and just plucked it away from them. Giorgetti. Skips to the left wing to Maggi. Force in the middle, shot short. Ruiz the rebound. Spain off and running. Somebody's leaked out. Italy manages to get a defender back. Ball skips to the wing to Ruiz. He's left unguarded. Likes the look of the shot. Can't get it to go. Wayward outlet pass. Spain back in possession. Ruiz drives middle. The Italian defence scrambling to get back. Let's see Guillermo there. Giorgetti, the ball for Italy. Uses the screen, drives to the right wing. Cut off. Ruiz, a little bit of contact there. The officials have determined that Ruiz did get a hand on that. Giorgetti inbounds. Drops off again from Maggi. Here come the Spanish. Italians screaming back to try and lovely touch pass. Fantastic stuff there from Zazuela. That's exactly how the 2-on-1 break should be taught.
That's actually a very lucky little play that Spain ran. They almost didn't play their defense perfectly to allow themselves to get that fast break, assuming that Italy would miss that shot. Whether that was the intention or not, there was a player that pulled out of defense in a little bit of a uncommon position, and then went streaking down. So really looking to use their pressure and the control that they have over this game. I think Spain have really set the tempo and the style for this game, and Italy kind of struggling to keep up with that, and struggling to kind of find what they want to play and how they want to address the Spanish team.
It can be a risky business, Campbell, the leak out that you're describing there. One of the defenders starting to get a bit of a head start before the rebound is sealed or the defensive assignment's been completed.
Yeah, it's a risky way to play, but the Spanish are very smart with it. They know that they have that speed, and that Italy really isn't looking for it. And I think they're just relying on the fact that Italy isn't necessarily shooting as well as you would expect them to at this point. And the Spanish kind of capitalizing on that. I imagine once it stops working and when Italy shores up that shooting percentage, they'll pull back off that and look for other options.
Giorgetti dribbles across the key. His shot was everything but fall. Off again, Spanish player down in the backcourt. Play will go ahead. Not interfering with anything. Ruiz, right wing. Ball reverses. Lovely pin-in screen there. A shot short.
That's an odd little play for Spain. It's a really beautiful kind of quick reversal, get the defense moving, and then the shot just coming up short, being a little bit lackluster. It's almost that Spain, we know they like to play their fast pace. That's what they've done this game so far, and not really being able to find that, and potentially not being super comfortable playing that set offense.
Giorgetti has his chair clipped. Tumbles to the pine. Foul assessed. Borgonelli Joseph back on the floor for Italy in 27. Giorgetti. Created some contact there, but it's assessed as an offensive foul.
Yeah, Saeed just coming in a little bit too fast on that screen, trying to get set and trying to break through the Spanish offense, or defense rather. But that space not opening up quite wide enough for him, and just pushing a little bit too hard. I think he was confident that he had the space or just wanted to take it.
Pedron trapped in the backcourt for Italy. Ball kicks ahead. Ruiz. He's not going to miss too often from there. The centre of the keyway. Italy with no defenders really with the height to counter his extreme reach. Chiaretti. Damagi. Wheels back and forth using the Benvenuto screen. Draws some contact. And launches an unlikely long two, which goes down.
Ruiz just putting a solitary finger up to indicate that he was accepting that foul, and kind of almost dropping his head in disappointment that he drew that contact through the shot, and a fantastic little shot there.
I think it was just the slightest contact. Nonetheless, an opportunity for Damagi. A much needed three-point play for the Italians. Spain holding 5-point buffer. The transition's really been the issue. Garcia and Gemma gets the ball across. Leaning the other way as we see that. From the sublime to the ridiculous, Giaretti felt the contact, was tumbling out of his chair. He had no idea. All he knew was the hoop was behind him. Launched it up, took an odd bounce.
It's got to be one of the most frustrating ways to play defense and to draw a foul there. Lorenzo doing almost everything right, expecting that the shot wasn't going to go up. Giaretti had essentially pulled out of the layup that he was going in for, but pulling up and then looking for that jump shot, and Lorenzo almost diving into him essentially.
I'm not sure whose facial expression was the more amazing, Giaretti or Lorenzo. Nonetheless, that's prompted a timeout. As per official IWBF rules, the timeouts are 2 in the first half for each team, 3 in the second half. More than likely at a tournament like this, there may be some latitude granted. So no evidence of that at this stage. So we see the team manager from Italy collecting all manner of drink bottles and paraphernalia from the players. Coach Van der Linden. I know I've got 16 games at this tournament, Campbell, but I can't imagine a more shot that be a higher nomination for most spectacular shot than that Giaretti make.
You never want to count it too early. There's been some fantastic shots. There's a clip that I can't remember what year it was from, but a rollers camp at the AIS where a shot was bounced off the head of a player and went in. So you never know what could happen.
As we see Ruiz with a beautiful pass to Zazuela. He's able to make the layup. Spain have managed to compress that Italian defence. They're sitting back in a sort of hybrid man zone and finished up with all 5 players in the keyway there. The ball's deflected by Luiz out of bounds. Damagi. Inbound. Some instruction there for Boganelli Joseph. Damagi drives baseline. Cut off, skip pass. Oh, there he is again, Giaretti. Roaming around in his chair, leaning back, forth, sideways, drew some more contact.
he's a frustrating style of player to defend against. He's so agile, so quick, and able to change up his way of shooting, his style almost instantaneously. And the Spanish, as much as they have the ability to pressure the Italian defense, the Spanish defense is just struggling to deal with that style and that flair that the Italians are showing off.
The Spanish timeout a little more animated, and that was a super quick timeout. We just returned from the previous timeout, but Coach carry on. Maybe a little aggrieved about something that happened either in that fouling instance or in the previous up and back possession. As you can see, he's got the whiteboard out there. Leading. Nothing like the scenes we saw in the Australian timeout before, where it was second and third row of stalls. So many players. It was a fantastic thing from a development perspective, but hard for everybody to get a clear view of what's going on in the timeout.
Luckily, Rollers head coach Brad Ness, he's got a good voice on him. He's got the ability to carry, so not too concerned.
So Giaretti back to the free throw line. First one's off, a little snappy with the release. Makes the adjustment on the second. Plenty of on-court instructions, you can clearly hear things going on. Shot's good inside. Beautiful pass and cut. The timing of the Spanish cuts and the delivery of the passes is, as would be indicated by the fact they're unbeaten in the European Championships, a really well-oiled machine. Giaretti drives middle. Bogdan Joseph. Thinks shot, hook pass, back to Giaretti. He finds the cutter. Another layup. Spain back the other way. Can see it in Gelmo. Skip pass. Shot fake, Ruiz. Da Silva Pellanzone. Number 69 for Italy. Carasini has also returned. He drives middle, draws some contact, no look pass. Finish is good.
Giaretti just finding pretty much any opportunity to take that shot. I think the Italians really relying on a couple players to kind of push their offense, and the Spanish just not quite adjusting onto those targets quite quick enough.
As Zazuela gets his way to the middle, multiple fakes, manages to finish. Italian defence really, interior defence is a bit of Swiss cheese at the moment. Doing a good job at the scoring end, but unable to stop the Spanish at all. All wheels around, impressive passing. Carasini, shot clock running down. Giaretti goes for his patented facing the back to the basket shot. Short on that occasion. Ruiz, left unguarded. Expertly finds the glass. Some more animated instruction from the Italian bench, as you can hear. Balls gets across, Carasini. He tried to use the Benvenuto screen. Foul identified. That's the Spanish over the limit in this quarter, having committed their fifth foul. Carasini smooth with that one. There must be an inordinate amount of confidence in his free throw shooting. Nobody bothering to line up. confidence is well placed. At least that'll help their transition defence. As the Silver Pelazzonis blown past. Boganelli Joseph tries to pick up the ball now, Ruiz. But again, really no respect for his shot. I think there'll be some hair torn out at the next Italian timeout. Oh, remarkable spinning three-point shot from Giaretti. He really is the circus performer.
Yeah, he's very, very quickly becoming the spectacle of these games. So hopefully, if this is the first game that they play, this is a sign of things to come for the next couple of days.
As Ruiz replies, but yeah, I think degree of difficulty is just a number for him, and the higher the better. Here is that man with the ball, Giaretti. Drives left, Boganelli Joseph slips the screen. Giaretti, what sort of magic's he got for us now? Lovely no-look pass. Shot falls off. Venezuela had the rebound. Well identified. You can hear the chairs clanging together there in the middle of the court.
You can hear the chairs almost just as loudly as you can hear the players getting pretty animated. It's hard to tell who's kind of getting more loud and kind of involved in the game. Obviously, we've seen the Spanish coach already being quite vocal and in how he pushes his team forward. It's a very fun thing to watch both of these teams play because they're always animated, always involved in the play.
No-look pass doesn't work that time for Spain. Picked off. And that man Giaretti makes his most conventional shot for the game. Left-hand layup. Ruiz left alone again. The Italians content to go under those screens, which is mystifying. Again, a late challenge. This time he's off. Benvenuto the rebound. Waning stages, second quarter. Spain and Italy, two of the powers of wheelchair basketball. European powers and world powers. That pass is deflected. Spain off and running. Bielcabo. Ruiz. Just a momentary lapse. Italy under the screens again. Get the desired result. Giaretti. Pushing. Draw some contact. Carassini makes the shot. Much to the delight of the bench. And no time for Spain to reply, so Italy's done a good job there to draw back within 4 points. And we'll be back after this break.
Get what you really want with the all-new Ford Everest Active 4x4. Value-packed with 12-inch touchscreen, black exterior styling and 18-inch alloys. All from just $60,000 drive away. Get the Everest Active at participating Ford dealers.
I was really lucky to cross paths with wheelchair basketball when I was 15 years old. I fell in love with the sport.
I was doing horse riding and I wanted to play a team sport, and my mum came across wheelchair basketball and I just grew to love it. My muscles have grown stronger, so I'm able to do a lot more things now because of basketball. Yeah, it just helped me a lot in life. I would love to play at the Brisbane 2032 Paralympics and represent the country.
I wasn't 21 until I made my first Australian team, so you got plenty of time. The most important thing is that you just enjoy your basketball.
By rolling out the start line, we want to build a framework where anyone that wants to become involved in parasport can find and navigate their way through to the opportunity that's local, that suits their needs.
Parasport's the best. You meet people that are just like you.
Times can be really tough. You're going to have some really, really frustrating days. It's okay to ask for help, but I promise you things do get better, and Paralympic sport can play a huge role in that.
Have a go. When we move out of our comfort zone, we surprise ourselves.
Not in my wildest dreams did I imagine that direction my life has taken, and I'm extremely thankful for it.
Just try it. You'll just grow to love it, and you could probably play for your country.
Hey everyone, Tom O'Neill Thorne here. We have a massive season ahead. Follow here for your behind the scenes, game updates and everything in between. Welcome to a new era of wheelchair basketball in Australia. See you on court.
Get what you really want with the all-new Ford Ranger Wolf Track V6, featuring bold styling, 17-inch alloys and all-terrain tyres, all from just 73k drive away. Ranger Wolf Track at participating Ford dealers while stocks last.
Welcome to this very special occasion, a celebration of the 2000 Australian Paralympic team.
It's so great just for everyone to come together and reminisce, and it's like a massive reunion.
To be here with everyone's just so special. It makes me almost cry with joy.
So wonderful to be back here after 25 years. So many people that got to share such unforgettable memories because it was the first time we had the Paralympic Games in Australia.
We all have a bond that can't be broken because we all experience something that is a part of our lives.
All of what we're here for, we have to develop the athletes, the kids with disabilities, to believe that they can achieve.
Sydney 2000 showed that the Paralympic Games can be as good as a host city chooses to make them. It filled stadiums, it filled arenas. It set the benchmark for the athlete experience.
Sydney 2000 changed everything. Let's just take the Paralympic movement to a place where it had never been before.
People with disabilities can, and I think Sydney said to us, we can.
Australia changed the face of Paralympic sport forever, and I couldn't be prouder.
My favourite memory from the Sydney 2000 Paralympic Games was actually carrying the torch into the stadium for the opening ceremony of the Games. Before I was about to carry the torch, there was going to be 2.2 billion television viewers.
The advice to the athletes is seize all the opportunity you have. The athletes that assembled here today are an example of the hard work and the legacy that can be left by a group that's come well before you. The best way that you can honour, respect and thank the past is to make sure you take care of the future by working hard and embracing every opportunity that you have at the moment.
What's up everyone, Jalen Brown here. I'm currently over in Turkey for the 25-26 Turkish League. I'm excited to get back and kick off this new era of wheelchair basketball with you all. The 2026 season is going to be something special. Make sure you're following along here for updates while I'm overseas.
Get what you really want with the value-packed Ford Ranger Black Edition 4x4 with bedliner, 12-inch touchscreen, 17-inch alloys and all-terrain tyres, all from just 53k drive away. Get the Ranger Black Edition at participating Ford dealers.
Wheelchair basketball emerged shortly after World War II after it was developed by injured servicemen. It became a foundation Paralympic sport at the 1960 Games and is now one of the world's most recognisable wheelchair sports. Athletes who play wheelchair basketball have a physical impairment. All players use a wheelchair to compete, although some don't use a wheelchair in everyday life. The court dimensions and basket height for wheelchair basketball are the same as the able-bodied version of the sport, as is the playing time and number of players on court. Wheelchair basketball classifications range between 1 and 4.5 points. Players with a classification of 1.0 have the highest level of impairment, while players in the 4.5 point class have the highest level of physical function to be eligible for the sport. The wheelchairs used during a game are specially designed to support players and help them move around the court. During a match, The classifications of the 5 players on the court are added together and must reach a total of no more than 14 points. The object of the game is to score the most points in the opposing team's basket. The team with the most points by the time the clock expires wins. Wheelchair basketball is a contact sport. The sport is so fast that it can be difficult for athletes to stop in time, meaning contact is inevitable and can result in some spectacular collisions. While contact is permitted and even encouraged, head-on collisions are strictly forbidden and can result in fouls or even ejection from the game. For more information on wheelchair basketball, visit paralympic.org.au.
Welcome back to the AIS Netball and Basketball Centre. Half-time of this contest, cracking contest between Italy and Spain. Some of the first half highlights for your viewing pleasure now. Spain should be disappointed the number of times they fouled the shooter. There's highlights galore. Ruiz, the dominant scorer in both teams. The game leading 14 at the half. Here's our man, Giaretti. The man who, in that half at least, displayed an ability to shoot with his back to the basket, amongst other tricks. No-look pass, bounce pass from him there.
I suspect we'll be watching that play back and that shot specifically for a little while now, just trying to understand how he managed to get that shot up and get it so comfortably.
Not only that, Campbell, but he went straight back to the same routine a couple of plays later. I'm coining him Il Maggio, the magician. I don't know if he's got a nickname back home, but he can have that one from us. As we see there, Spain with the 19 two-point field goals. The Italians the only one to convert from a three-point line with 2 of those attempts. And the 6 free throws really correcting that imbalance. Spain looking the more polished in the half court. The Italians a little more unpredictable in their scoring methodology.
In Spain, they're also with 9 fouls coming into the second half. That's an unfortunate thing, and it might be a little bit difficult. They've played pretty much the same, a lot of the same team that they've run for the whole game, so they might get into a little bit of foul trouble and might want to change things up a little bit, play a little bit safer of a defense.
Esquione inside, switches hands expertly. Surely some contact there. Yes. Wow, that was extremely dexterous, Campbell. He went for the right-hand shot. The defender's arm appeared, switched it back to the left, paused for a second, waited till he was slapped on the right arm, and then finished with the left.
It's the power of international players and players that have played at this level for quite a while, knowing how they're going to draw that contact, and even just knowing their opponents a little bit. I think knowing how they're going to play, how they're going to force contact into that situation, and just being prepared to kind of take that on. It's one of the things that you have to teach younger players, is to kind of fight through that contact, especially in the chair. It could be a pretty confronting thing. So it's always fun to see players like this when they're absolutely prepared to basically bulldoze their way through.
That was Ortega's third foul. He ruefully rolled off to the bench. Playing with the ball in the white uniforms with the yellow or gold trim. Ruiz, game's leading scorer, looks at three, can't get that to go. Benvenuto, the rebound. Spain off and running through the agency, or off and rolling through the agency of the Silva Pellizzone. Damagi uses a maze of screens. The Silva Pellizzone with the pass. And the neat finish. Dave, that's four. Spain, Ruiz looks inside this time, shot off the underside of the rims, back. Ruiz gets a hand on it, can't control it. Really looking to break. All jammed in the back court. Kicks the head. Gione runs to Silva Pellizzone. Stayed. Middle cutter. Looks to be some contact, no call from the officials. Organelli Joseph out of his chair, won't participate in this defensive sequence. That man Ruiz again just leaning back in his chair, almost laconically getting that shot as we see a bit of a jam there. Chair's locked up.
This is quickly becoming a game of offense, really. I'm often to say that wheelchair basketball is a game of defense and protecting the ball, but both of these teams playing extremely effective offense, and obviously we're seeing a little bit of showmanship and fancy shooting from the side of Italy, but Spain being so consistent, so strong with Ruiz in that shot. And neither team really able to set their defense quite up how they might like to, and so it's a credit to both teams' offensive style.
Gione needed the Gioreti magic there. He's back to the basket, couldn't find a way to create the shot. It has been deflected out of bounds. Shot clock is reset to 14. Early stages, third quarter. This game, the Boomers against the World Series, Italy, Spain, Japan and Australia. Multitude of games over the next 5 days for you to watch. Silva Pellizzone was in fact 1.4 on the shot clock. Spanish coach appealing for shot clock violation. In fact, that's what the officials have decided. Spain with the ball. Moving from right to left on your screens. Ruiz, the game's leading scorer. This looks pretty calm. Snaps the pass across. Italy can't corral that rebound. Back to Ruiz. Drives baseline, uses the screen. Always a shot fake in amongst his repertoire. Gilles, his shot's off. The Silva Pellizzone comes away with the ball for Italy. What can they conjure up this time? Double team. Contact inside. Shot from Gione was off, but won't count either way.
That was a fantastic little back and forth for Italy. Their defensive side was actually incredibly strong to shut down the Spanish shot. Their triple switch being one of the most textbook triple switches I've ever seen for a jump shot, and then moving into that offensive side and drawing that contact again. Spain getting really risky with those fouls.
The Silva Pellizzone dared to shoot that three. He did. It only caught the front of the rim. Ruiz pushing transition the other way for Spain. Back to Ruiz. He's the focal point of the offense. Everything revolving around him. A couple of pass fakes and just the calmest of long mid-range shots.
You can see why it's all revolving around him. He's just almost becoming unstoppable for the Spanish side. His offense and his strength on that shot, it's almost unmatched.
Damaji finds the defender going under a screen, looks at three, can't get it. Boganelli Joseph, the rebound, drives baseline, looks at his shot, rolls tantalisingly around. Can't get it to go, the Spanish off and running again. There's Ruiz, a decoy in the lane this time. He gets the point out. Spain inches back, 6 ahead. Ball on the right wing. Damaji left open. Makes them pay. Officials just warning the players about roaming out of bounds and coming back in to gain advantage. Sensible officiating there to remind the players that may have inadvertently taken advantage of that rick.
Especially with the Spanish looking to get a little bit of a back pick there. So it's very easy for other players to just kind of skirt around that baseline and try and play with a little bit more space than they've actually got. Clearly, referees just saying we're not going to do that. We're going to play properly and really controlling that pace.
Vega on the floor now for the first time for Spain. Zazuela has multiple attempts inside, can't get them to go. Italy, a chance to eat further into this deficit, but a wayward pass. Layups off. Zazuela unable to get that to go. Loose pass. Carlosini with the steal. 2-on-1 break. Just got to get past Ruiz. Commits a clumsy foul. Almost deliberate. Sayed. See a sample there of the Italian communication, verbal and gesture driven. Again, tremendous confidence in Sayed as he converts the first. None of the blue uniforms of Italy visible or deciding to even come up to the line. Might have wished they were there on that second one as it's unsuccessful. Garcia and Gelmo with the ball. Pitch to the left wing. Giles uses a screen. Right against the shot. Cuts middle, gets it back. The shot deflected. Ball scoops out. The clock did reset. And it's deflected out of bounds.
It's a very, very smart little play to actually to let that go out of bounds. He was up on one wheel and almost falling out. I think if he'd tried to protect that ball a little bit more, he was immediately getting on the floor.
Short shot clock there, forces an early one from Spain. They come up short. Italy chance to take the lead. They do. Pardon, trail by one. Needed a 3 there to tie it up. Down to 2. Okay. Calling out a set play. 1. Ball's deflected, some contact. Puppy assessed with the foul there. I've seen a whole lot of them. He did start the game, Puppy, at one of the guard spots. Ball inbounded for Spain. Just a lull in proceedings, even though the ball's in play. Ball finds its way inside. Shot's good. Garcia and Jomo, the creator there. Plenty of contact in the middle of the paint. Middle of the court. Fioretti. Shot does everything but fall for Papi.
That was an interesting little session there. He had looked at the referee and kind of questioned whether there had been a foul on his shot previously. And I think just getting a little bit of that frustration out. Obviously, we know that Italy has more fouls to play with than Spain does, and just running a little bit aggressive and going straight through.
I think he's just demonstrating to the official exactly what a foul is. Really, Italy almost caught unawares there. Sideline ball. No defenders back in the paint. Spain managed to miss another layup. Carasini wheels and deals. Kicks across to Papi. Back to Syed. His shot's good. Spain holding the slenderest of leads. Vegas shot short. He gets after his own rebound. Kareem's off his own chair. Back to Italy. So encouragement starting to bubble a bit higher on the Italian bench. You can hear it in the background. Papi to the middle. Carasini's good. Italy finds themselves in front.
This energy is I think what was missing from the start of the second half. Both teams were coming out a little bit quiet, a little bit cold, but Italy really finding their stride here, and Spain getting a little bit lost. But the Italians getting that energy up, getting that hype back up, and really bringing it.
Another Spanish shot off. Beautiful touch there. Touch rebound. Ball finds its way to Lorenzo. He's castigating himself for not making that, but he will get 2 free throw attempts. Notable that the change in rhythm of the game has come about with Ruiz on the bench. Couple more substitutions. Just checking with the bench. Doesn't disturb Lorenzo's concentration. He ties the scores up and pushes Spain back in front. Officials just checking with the bench, everything's okay there. Back underway. Fioretti. What's he got for us here? Standard skip pass to Carasini. Other side of the floor, operating in a 3-side, 2-side. Carasini, pass fake. Beautiful cut. Who else? Cuts middle, gets the pass. Almost tumbling out of his chair as he made that layup. This is really the troublesome end for Italy. Better on the last few possessions. Syed with the foul there.
Syed's third foul coming through. That's going to become a little risky thing. He's a low point player, so he opens up the point that the Italian team can run. If he collects one or two more, he'll be really in deep trouble.
3-second violation there. Bit of credit to Italy's defence that they've managed to stymie the the way that the Spanish team was just waltzing in and out of the paint with cuts and passes. And there he is, Il Maggio. Can't put that to go. You ready? I'd be surprised if he was left unguarded. Well, it's hard to say what is guarded in his lexicon. Beautiful cut through there. Lavandiera. Just onto the floor. Just a catch and finish in one motion. Carosini wheeling. Bogdanova Joseph looks at three. Almost there. The risk with the three is the primary transition defenders nowhere to be seen, and as the quarter was about to expire, Prieto was aware, managed to hoik up something, but that won't go. So we have a thriller here. Spain up by 1 as we head into the break.
Get what you really want with the new look Ford Ranger Wild Track. With its power roller shutter, stunning matrix LEDs, and premium B&O 10-speaker sound system. And you'll also get a 4K fuel card. That's 4K to take you on even bigger adventures. Available at your participating Ford dealer now.
Hey everyone, Tom O'Neill Thorne here. We have a massive season ahead. Follow here for your behind the scenes, game updates and everything in between. Welcome to a new era of wheelchair basketball in Australia. See you on court.
Welcome back to the AIS Netball and Basketball Centre for last quarter action. We're coming up in a second from Game 2 of the Rollers versus the World Challenge. It's Spain and Italy. Italy in the blue, in the royal blue uniforms. Spain in the white, and just a 1-point game, Campbell. And scrolling through the stats, noticeable. Italy have made 2 3-point shots from just 4 attempts. Spain 0 of 3, but you compare that to the first game we saw today, Australia and Japan, where it was just an avalanche of 3-point shots.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really something that the Rollers started to rely on before. Most of these teams, again, have both Spain and Italy playing very fast, kind of aggressive styles of offense, so not needing to rely on those outside shots. But also those free throws percentages, Italy 7 from 14 free throws that the Spanish have allowed them into.
Right, Italy with the ball. Carosini uses that screen from Pedron. Ball back to Bogdanova Joseph. He hits to push his team back in front. Wayward shot from Onrubia. Carosini will cruise in. And finger roll. Nice creation there from Ortega, driving middle. Shots off. Gione careening in for the rebound. Came out of his chair. The official is determined the ball will revert to Spain. On Rubia. Uses the Ortega screen. Ball's deflected, back to Rubia. He's left wide open. Can't finish. Giorno the rebound. Calasini. Foganelli Joseph for the multiplicity of screens there. Who else can't get that to go? Can get the rebound. Quick hands, gone. Unfortunately for Ortega, he just rolled out of bounds there.
This is an odd little way of both teams going pretty quiet at this point. Even with some pretty heavy fouls coming in, you'd expect the benches even to get a little bit animated, a little bit involved in the contest. But both teams just settling to go a little bit quiet. The scoring kind of going down a little bit. Obviously, Italy feeling a lot more comfortable than they would have been before with that deficit that they've brought back and really taken over. But really, just that fight from both teams not coming back.
Carasini drove middle there. All sorts of hands and plenty of people wanting to claim that foul. Certainly Ortega was not one of those because that'll be his fourth. He's remonstrating partly with the officials, partly with himself. Carasini makes one of two. Ortega playing on with his 4 fouls. Lovely pass, but a moving screen. That seemed like a legitimate back pick there, Campbell, to open up the driving lane, but not.
Yeah, those back picks and the offensive screens are a little bit difficult to call. So it's generally based on not necessarily movement, but also position. We don't defend with a foot plate, and potentially that contact is just coming in a little bit uncontrolled and a little bit unprepared.
As who else manages to catch nothing with his shot. Ball back to Spain. Spain in the white uniforms, trail by 2. 3 minutes gone, last quarter. Ortega, baseline, lovely screen and roll. Lorenzo finishes. The Italian bench is determined they want to have a chat about things. I think on balance they'd be pretty happy with their second half effort.
Yeah, you'd have to think they're pretty happy with being able to bring back that deficit, and also just forcing Spain into a pretty uncomfortable position with all those fouls that they collected in the first half. Potentially that was even a conversation they had before this game. Spain is known for playing quite aggressive and kind of in-your-face style of defense specifically, and potentially Italy looking to play the long game and really collect those fouls early and then kind of swoop in and look to take the momentum away from Spain when they know that they can't really resist.
Head coach Gerrit Jan van der Linden down on the ground there with the whiteboard out. Arguing something. As you can see, just a touch under 7 minutes remaining. It's just 2 points in the first game today. The Rollers getting the better of Japan. An equally tight contest here to open this Rollers against the World Challenge. Carasini. Now man, Fioretti back to Carasini, but the Morganelli Joseph there was crisscrossing to set screens and spent too much time in the rectangular area, which is limited by 3 seconds of occupation.
I think that was actually just a matter of not quite clearing out of that space. You have to be fully outside of the keyway, and it's very easy for just even a little part of your chair to be inside, and that's still considered you are inside the paint.
On Rubio with a lovely pass to Lorenzo, he finishes. Backcourt pressure. Sayed, the Italians managed to defuse it. Fioretti with the ball. Goes back to the basket, not shooting this time. Ball kicks across the Papi. His three-point attempt is off. Spain streaming back. Ortega. Nice pass inside, the ball stripped. Italian player hits the deck in the background. And in fact, we've seen an unsportsmanlike foul called. It was tricky, Campbell, to see exactly what happened there, but clearly the officials have determined that the actions of the Spanish player wasn't playing at the ball and wasn't doing so in a fashion that is sportsmanlike.
Yeah, I think it was purely because it was off-ball contact at pretty aggressive speed and kind of forward-facing momentum. It's one of those calls that you're kind of unlucky to get it upgraded to unsportsmanlike, but also not too surprising in some sense.
So the upgrading involves 2 free throw attempts, which we saw there Carasini making 1 of 2, and Italy retains possession of the ball. It's almost a double penalty. Fioretti. Since we wanted to nickname him Il Maggio, he hasn't done a lot of magic things, but Spanish defender out of their chair. Even though the shot went in, the officials stopped the game from a safety perspective. Both players check on each other. Prieto, the man out of the chair there.
The Spanish coach getting very animated at that point. Potentially, if he wants to use that voice throughout these games, it's a lot of games, and potentially going to lose his voice by the end of this.
Fioretti's long 2 with the shot clock running down is off. Spain coming the other way. Was a 3-on-2. Italy managed to match the numbers up now. Too tall inside. Ruiz back on the floor. And a Colossus when he's on. Carasini weaves past the fallen player. Fioretti, shot clock an issue again for Italy. Wayward pass. Spanish bench is elated.
That's an odd choice for the Italian side. Usually when the player with the ball points to the player that's down on their team, the play will stop even if it's behind the play. But the Italians are choosing not to do that and let the play move forward and try and look for that open space.
And Rubio looks at that long shot, it's off. Italy trying to break, can't do so. Ortega. Pass. Prieto can't get it to go. Does get the offensive rebound, it is fouled. No surprise, a timeout from Italy there. They're just sort of losing their mojo a little bit. as you mentioned, Campbell, the confusion in the front court and a couple of defensive assignments or lapses in defensive assignments in the back court.
Yeah, I think both teams haven't relied too much on their style of defense. Obviously, they're not playing bad by any means, but both teams being really forward-thinking and looking towards that offensive side. And the shots for Italy just not quite going. Spain's really managed to pull back in, rein back in their fouls, and not sending Italy to the line quite as much. So they're not quite finding those opportunities that they were previously looking for. And the Spanish side just being cool, calm, collected. They've kind of brought themselves back in, and I think a little bit of that hype is kind of bringing Spain back, where it's kind of toppling over Italy. Spain really like to play with that hype. They like the energy. They're very fun when there's big crowds. They get very involved. Potentially, it's just flustering Italy a little bit.
So at this point, Spain, from a statistical perspective, leading the rebounding 38-28. Surprisingly, they've only shot the 4 free throws this entire game, compared to 18 for Italy. Italy not shooting at a very wonderful clip, 9 of those 18, but Spain just 2 of 4 to now. Prieto improves that statistic somewhat. And again. Fioretti, beautiful pass inside. For cutting Sayed. Sayed's attempt to get back in transition defense is thwarted. And there's Ruiz taking advantage.
Carrasino almost just dropping his head as he knew that he was out of defense, out of correct position, just accepting that play that would move past him. I think that's almost emblematic of how this Italian team is looking at the moment. When they're good, and they're proud of themselves, but they're not quite recovering from those mistakes that they're making quite as well as you might hope.
He already goes deep into his bag of tricks for a 3-point hook shot, which sails harmlessly out of bounds. In his defence, the shot clock was expiring, and he was aware of that. So, really, the roundhouse hook was all that was available to him. Almost surprising that he wouldn't make that, but he didn't. On Rubia with the ball for Spain. He's left alone. Finds Lorenzo inside. All looking a little bit easy for Spain now. There it is. I knew he wouldn't have to wait long, Campbell. Giuretti caught that, flipped it off the outside of his right hand while facing the sideline. Found the bottom of the net.
With the way he plays, it's almost as if he's choosing to shoot that way. So every time you look, he's managing to find himself sideways or back to the basket, and I think it's become his most consistent shot at this point.
Yeah, if he were a diver, he'd certainly be in business, as dives are scored multiplied by the degree of difficulty. If he was getting his points multiplied by a degree of difficulty, he would be the game's leading scorer. On Rubia, left wing, it's left wide open again. Italy content to go under those screens. Lovely interchange of passing inside. Ortega to Lorenzo. Lorenzo is fouled. Lorenzo makes the first. Puppy rebounds the second miss. Carasini puts it up, cuts middle, pass is stolen. Rubia happy to take the patient route. Identified there wasn't a clear numerical advantage there. Ball did find its way back to him. He's comfortable to shoot that. Another offensive rebound. Lorenzo's shot is good again. Spain almost broken this open. 8-point advantage, just a couple of minutes remaining. Contest that swung back and forth. Puppy. Carasini. Looks inside, deflected. Just 3 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Another Joseph inbounds. Fioretti's aware of the shot clock. It's catch and release 3. It's off. Spain will surely be content to take their time in the half court now with this lead. And Rubia, pass just not elevated enough. And an Italian hand illegally detected in there.
Again, it's just a little bit of that pace and a little bit of that aggressive style that Spain like to play. And the Italians just getting a little bit kind of drawn into playing that style, and they're not as comfortable doing it. And potentially that's something that they'll look at in the other games to kind of reflect on and bring more of their style of play, and their flair, but not their aggression.
And Rubio with a fantastic needle pass inside to Ortega. Havens unable to find any scoring the last couple of minutes. He dribbles madly in the perimeter. Spanish rebound. Lorenzo. Kick ahead. Middle cut. It's Prieto to finish, and that might just finish Italy off. Fioretti with one more little bit of magic, weaves in and out, finger roll, time's about to expire, the coaches head down to shake hands, and that'll do us. Spain, they were challenged, certainly. Italy got their noses in front, but Spain have come back for a 10-point victory, and probably emblematic of the fact that they were unbeaten in the European Championships. A team that knows how to win always seems to find a way.
Yeah, the Spanish team really strong, and I think the strength that they have, obviously with the Italian team having a few younger players and a little less experience, is just that ability to play from behind. I think Spain, even when they were losing a little bit of their touch, they know how to play from behind. They know how to get around each other, get that hype going back up. Obviously, their coach being extremely animated and getting his team kind of involved and fired up. And the Italians just not knowing how to match that and kind of match that style, that attitude, that aggression. It's a very fun thing to see the Spanish when they're getting into it.
And a reminder, as you see the players roll off the floor, see the statistics there that each of the 4 teams involved here, Spain, Italy, Japan, Australia, will play each other twice over the next 3 days. All those games broadcast on this YouTube channel, Basketball Australia. And then there'll be a series of semi-finals and some final games on Tuesday later in the week. So plenty of elite wheelchair basketball action. So we look at some of the highlights of that second half. The Spanish transition, Campbell, was a notable part of the game, their smoothness.
Yeah, they have such speed and such agility, but also such court IQ to kind of fake out defenders, draw defenders, and their passes just being almost always dead on point. Clearly that's something that they focus on in their training, is that ability to play fluid and play stylistically around the opponents, and really relying on each other's communication, but also just knowing where each other are going to go, knowing the style that they want to play, and everyone kind of being on that same page.
Yeah, as we look at some of the amazing play of the second half, Lorenzo finished up the leading scorer for the game and for Spain, 21. Giaretti, leading scorer for the Italians. But we'll see both these teams in action later on this afternoon, Australian time, or your time, wherever you're watching around the world. But we thank you for tuning in, and we will see you for game number 3 later on today.
Get what you really want with the new look Ford Ranger Wild Track. With its power roller shutter, stunning matrix LEDs, and premium B&O 10-speaker sound system. And you'll also get a 4K fuel card. That's 4K to take you on even bigger adventures. Available at your participating Ford dealer now.
What's up everyone, Jalen Brown here. I'm currently over in Turkey for the 25-26 Turkish League. I'm excited to get back and kick off this new era of wheelchair basketball with you all. The 2026 season is going to be something special. Make sure you're following along here for updates while I'm overseas.